Hey, what's up? Welcome to pixelhangover.com. Ryan here with you, bringing you a unique game today. It just came out this week on Steam. It's called, I think it's pronounced Reus or Reus. I've heard it a couple different ways, but we're gonna go with one of those. Um, it's one of those games that I could sit there and explain it to you, but it really needs to be seen. Even screenshots do not do it justice. It's if you're a God game fan, if you like games that are kind of along that genre, you're definitely gonna like this. If you're a Kefling's fan, that kind of thing. The art style is fantastic, and I think that's what really pulls me into it. If you are a Pixel Junk fan, this the style of game is you know you could fool me and tell me this is a Pixel Junk game. It's not, but it definitely has that style. Right now it's PC only. You can get it on Steam at $9, where it's normally $10. It's on sale. I do like how they do that sometimes. Brand new games get a little discount for buying early. That's how it should be, right? So controls are pretty simple. You can go in and out with the wheel and the mouse, or you can use your arrow keys to go left, right, in and out. Real easy. The basic what we're doing is we're going to do the tutorial here, because really it's one of those things where if you just show the tutorial, you get the idea of what's going on. Right away, they give you a couple of giants. One of them to the left there is for getting water in the level. The other one there to the right in the middle here, is for doing desert and mountains. And they're going to introduce a third one here real soon. So what your goal is to take this barren, dead planet uh, and revitalize it and bring life. That's it. I mean, and it's about resource management and also got some RTS things in there where you got to actually, you know, get the little humans to harvest and have an economy and all that kind of stuff. It's really cool. But one thing that really doesn't come across in this game for screenshots and stuff is just how cool the animation is and the style. Um, the giants work together. Each one of them kind of does their own thing. So right away they're teaching how to move them and how to highlight certain parts of the land. You can't, for instance, lay down any vegetation unless you have water. That makes sense. So you kind of go through the what's needed for life to exist and that sort of thing. So that's what they teach you right out of the bat, right out of the gate, I should say. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and dig in some water, essential start. And I just love the animation. They're both falling down into the water there. Very cool. So with the water, created, they're going to introduce us to a third giant. And this one's obviously the vegetation. I mean, you can see how it's darker where he's standing right now. So to the left or the right of that water, now the ground is saturated enough that it can sustain life. So towards the bottom you have kind of you can either click on the actual giant, or to the bottom left you can click on the giant there too. And then in the bottom center of the screen is his power. So right now they only let me do one thing. And as you can see, boom, we got vegetation. Just like that. It's got to touch the water, and it kind of makes sense. So every one of these giants creates different types of land that's vital to different parts of the game. It's obviously creating human life, but then also making sure they have things to mine, create their own economy, food, all those kind of things. So in this case, I just figured I'd go ahead and build a desert and a mountain right here in the middle. Kind of get the feel for that. And we will show some humans and what that looks like. So here's a quick zoom out. It's really quick to go in and out. I think I like that a lot. You can navigate real quick, and that really helps with the slickness and the animation of the game. So what I'm doing is, even when I'm this far out, I've now pulled into the left. You see, I'm setting a couple markers to the left. I'm gonna get I'm gonna dig another pond, and I'm gonna dig another mountain. I got all three of them going to do something right now. Now I believe what's going to happen is I don't know if the tree guy is going to actually be able to plant because there's no water yet. It's just see, I think he stops. Uh, yeah. See, he's not able to actually because the water wasn't quite there when he started his animation. The rock guy on the right should be fine. So we're going to zoom in here and pan on over to the left. And now that there's water there, we can go ahead and you can see that the light area is where he can do it. So he's gonna. So right away, what they have you do is kind of fill the whole um, first little world here with something. They don't care what you put. Um, so what you could do is I could go 2 spots over, right about. I could have kept going and put the water right next to the desert, and then the tree could have landed there. I think one thing I didn't realize right away is I need to have it touch water, and that is a problem. So right there, I'm bringing him over way up to the top. So, this is a tutorial, so there's not much else going on, but when you have, humans there, or civilizations, it's really important to, yes, the giants can take some time to walk there, but you're not really worried about that because there's a lot of little, managing of resources and managing of a whole bunch of things and keeping your humans happy and all this kind of stuff. And it's one of those games that it's just really cool to chill with, and there's a whole lot of people that like these type of games, and I think this is just such a unique twist on the genre that it really needed to be highlighted. Because, as I said, impossible to explain this game, really. So you see what happened there is part of the desert to the left actually turned to vegetation, which is interesting. Just naturally, if you put water there, it's going to want to put, stuff's going to want to grow. So really, the desert's only going to last between the 2 mountains, which makes a lot of sense. All right. So there's what a quick, just we basically brought this planet to life, and now as we move on to the next tutorial, it's going to show what happens when you truly do this. Here, this is just a quick showing of what you did. I love the visuals, the animation, it's great stuff. Alright, so it goes through everything that kind of wraps things up, just like a mission, but the actual game is, when you get to the levels, it obviously lasts longer and there's a lot more to do. But I thought it was important to show the basics of what you do with a brand new planet. Alright. They're going to give us another one here. And what they're going to have us do, I believe, right away is to put stuff all the way around this world. So what I might do is I might fast forward here, but because it's a lot of the same. And then we're going to get into a little bit more of the details. So we'll be right back, and I bet you the whole place is filled with stuff here. Be right back. Alright, so now our world is covered with everything we need for human civilization, or at least life, I should say. So all these little things start to pop up. Um, I'm able to do a couple different things. At the bottom now, I should have another power that pops up. It allows me to put some food down there. But natural, what actually happens first is right here. This is what would happen if we created water with vegetation next to it. A human population, a little very primitive little camp shows up, and so then it's our job to help them out with food and stuff. And you can actually click on them, see how happy they are, how threatened they are, if they're friendly to the giants, if they're not. All that kind of micromanagement that you kind of expect out of this type of game. It's all in there on the right panel there. There's quite a bit. You can actually click on the actual village itself and you get more details too. But one of the things they definitely want you to do is to drop some food in here within their boundaries so they can find it. And at the bottom there, you can see next to that first power up I have a little fruit looking thing. That's basically another power that I can use to drop fruit in there. So what they end up doing is saying, hey, let's give them some food and let's get it more than they need. Eventually the more you drop in there, and it has a cooldown of every 30 seconds, the more right there, just some more vegetation, and that kind of stuff has fruit in the trees and stuff like that. That's outside of their boundaries, right in the middle of the screen. There's an actual I say lookout tower. That's kind of the boundaries of their little camp. So if you want to really get them fruit or food, you want to do it inside that camp. So that's what the rest of this video is going to show, is just a little bit of micromanagement. You can actually see the details without actually going to menus, as you see there. You can see how healthy the land is, what's really being used, what's needed. A little smiley face or a sad face based on how that camp is. So it's kind of really slick in showing you at a quick glance what's going on, and then obviously you can have multiple of these throughout the world, and they'll move into the water there. They'll do a lot of cool little things. But I think that I think just showing a little bit of this game, a little bit of micromanagement, a little bit of how you deal with things, and then obviously it gets crazy from here. Don't have time to show all of it, but it's one of those games that I think that if you see it and you're into this type of game, you'll be like, hey, I had no idea this was out. That looks cool, and go pick it up. It's a cheap game, price-wise, but high production values and great animation. And here's an example. I'm going to go in here now that my cooldown is done. I'm going to find where I can do it, and I'm just going to go ahead and crap out some fruit for them, and you'll see. Then they'll start using those resources. And towards the middle top right, not middle, to the top right there, you can actually see kind of like the amount that I'm allowed to use and how much they are using. You can actually keep crapping out stuff there, and that goes up and up and up. And obviously eventually you need to make it so they can mine underneath the ground, and use different giants to just really keep your civilization alive, micromanage, and obviously they can get angry at you based on what you do. But I don't think you can get real evil. I've heard that some people are hoping that down the line the DLC comes where you can actually be real evil, but I don't think you can at this point. I've only put a few hours into it, but it's definitely worth noting. Definitely one of those games that it's at a price point that it's impulse buy if you're a God game fan. So we just wanted to highlight it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it's something that you didn't have on your radar, and now you do. So that's kind of what we want to do, is highlight games that you may not know about. So I'm going to let the rest of this go. There's how close you can zoom in here. I think it's kind of cool. You can get some real detail in what the humans are doing. But I'm going to let the rest of this play, just showing a little bit more of what a little bit more micromanagement. And hope you enjoyed. So thanks for checking things out, and have a great day.